It is April the 12th, 2024, my friends, and I've got a few best bets in baseball and also an NBA player prop for you guys. This is the Free 3. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Talking about get to the bag, hey, yesterday I told you guys we're going to turn it around. It's been a slow grind, but hey, we had another winning day. That's 2 in a row. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Not a sweep, but we'll take a 3-in-1 day yesterday as we cashed on the Red Sox Orioles first 5 under. Got a little sweaty there in the first inning. They gave up 2 runs, which hurt our Nerfy, which is our only loss of the day. But overall, the under still ended up hitting, so we love to see that. Knicks on the spread, no sweat bet there. You could have even gotten a better number. You could have got them at plus money on the money line if you had waited, because once they said all the Boston Celtics starters were playing, the line moved in favor of the Celtics there, but we still got a bad number, but we still cash, so it doesn't matter. And then Jalen Brunson, 3/4, 39 points there. I mean, my boy is a dog, no sweat bet there. So you love to see it. 3-1 on the day. The only loss was the Nerfy in the Red Sox Orioles game. So you can't be too mad at it. We're still down here for the month of April. You can look at our record here. It's a little bit under 500, but we've got a lot of time to turn it around. If we can keep the momentum going like we've done over the last few days, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to turn this ship around. So stick with us, my friends. If you've been liking the videos that we've been dropping, make sure you smash that subscribe button and smash that like button as well. So this way we can continue to grow the channel, put out more winners every single day. I appreciate all the love and support. Now let's dive into these best bets. For my first best bet of the day, we are going to head to the baseball slate, and we're going to head to a team that yesterday probably people were not expecting to win that game outright, and that is the Kansas City Royals. And now they're traveling to New York to take on the New York Mets, and I'm going to take them here on the first 5 run line. Also, you can take them on the money line, so I'm giving you guys 2 picks here. Minus 130 odds if you take the run line, plus 115 odds if you take the money line. I like them both here in this matchup. I normally don't like to take double bets like this, but I do like both of these situations, and we need a few extra bets here to help us get over the 500 mark, let's be honest. So for me, I'm taking both of them on the run line. You could put like a unit there, and then you could take another unit on the money line here, or maybe on the run line to cover what you may lose on the money line. But I think they're going to win both of these outright. Why? Because I have the pitching matchups here, and most times I don't like to back a team after they drop 16 runs or 13 runs, whatever the Royals scored yesterday. Absolutely obliterated the Astros 13-3 yesterday, and for me, I normally fade an offense after that, but this Royals team has been on fire to start the year, and I love the way that their offense has been looking, especially in the first 5 innings. Right now, they're top 5 in the majors in terms of runs scored in the first 5 innings, averaging close to 4 runs per game in the first 5 innings. So that's really strong. And then when you keep in mind that they now have a pitching matchup that's going to favor them as well against Luis Severino, which is a guy that I absolutely hate. If you've been a fan of the channel for over a year, you guys know that last year we faded him game after game after game. And that was when he was on the Yankees. But Severino's just not that good of a pitcher. In his first matchup against the Brewers, he went 5 innings. He gave up 11 hits to go with 6 runs and 1 home run. So that was not very good. In his second matchup, he did a little bit better against the Reds. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, only 2 runs, and only 1 of those were earned to go with 7 strikeouts. But for me, the Reds offense is and the Mets end up losing that game outright. So for me, Severino on the year, 3.6 ERA, 13 strikeouts, which is not too bad when you look at 10 innings of work. It's also concerning that he's given up 8 runs over the first 2 starts. Only 4 of those were earned, but that also tells you kind of about the Mets defense that he has behind him, which I'm not a big fan of either. Now, on the other side for the Kansas City Royals, we have Michael Walker, who's going to the mound, and thus far this year, he's been very strong. He faced the Baltimore Orioles in his first start of the year where he went 5 innings. He gave up 3 hits to go with 3 earned runs and 1 home run. So I'm not a big fan of that, but the Orioles offense are one of the best in the major leagues, one of the best in the American League. So, okay, I can kind of understand that. And his second matchup was against the White Sox, obviously a very weak team there, but he went 7 strong innings, 2 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk there. So one thing that Michael Walker's really been doing is keeping control and command of his fastball, keeping command of his pitches. Only 2 walks over the 2 starts, 2.25 ERA to go with 13 strikeouts. So for me, this is just more of a fade on Severino, but also also we're riding the hot hitting of the Royals here. I think we're getting value because the Mets are at home, and they also obliterated the Braves yesterday, 16-4. That was the first game that this year that we've really seen that Mets offense really become potent, but also at the same time, they got really lucky because the Braves had a few errors in that game that kind of cracked things open for them. So for me, I'm going to take the value spot here, give me the Royals on the first 5 on the run line, but also give me on the money line here. If you want to take the full game, I'm not opposed to that, as I do not like the Mets bullpen either, but I'm just going to isolate this to the starters. I think Michael Walker is the better of the two pitchers here. Severino against good offenses, we've seen him struggle, and I think he's going to struggle against a Royals team that's been smacking right-handed pitching to start the year. Now, for my third best bet of the day, we're going to go to another baseball matchup, and we're going to go here to the Cubs and Seattle Mariners matchup. This is a late night game, and we are going to go with the first 5 under 4.5 runs, minus 114 odds there. I think that's on DraftKings that you can get that number at. Now, in this matchup, we have Jordan Wick on the mound for the Cubs, and we have Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners. Now, both of these pitchers are okay. I do like the form that we've seen from Jordan Wicks. His numbers might be a little bit deceiving. He's 0-1 on the year with a 4.15 ERA, but when you look at the opponents that he's faced in 2 starts, he's faced the Texas Rangers, he's faced the Los Angeles Dodgers, 2 of the toughest lineups in all of baseball to face, and in both of those starts, he's gone at least 4 innings. He's given up 2 runs in each of the starts, 2 earned runs, but for me, again, you're facing really, really tough lineups, and now you face the Mariners that are bottom 5, actually the second worst team in Major League Baseball in runs scored in the first 5 innings. They've been struggling to hit left-handed pitcher. We saw that yesterday against Kikuchi. I mean, this Mariners offense is just really stagnant. They picked it up late yesterday, but they scored a ton of their runs in extra innings where they cracked the game open. But that game was a 1-1 game heading into extra innings. So for me, I'm just isolating to this to the first 5. I like what Hicks has showed us thus far against stronger opponents. So for me, if he can keep command of his fastball, he can limit the amount of walks. He did have 3 walks against that start against the Rangers. So if he can still keep his strikeouts high, 13 strikeouts over the past 2 starts, then I do like his chances here to be able to exploit a weak Mariners offense. And meanwhile, Bryce Miller on the other side had a really strong performance in his last start against the Brewers. He went 7 innings, 3 hits to go with no runs, 7 strikeouts. That's what you want to see. Now, he did get banged up in his first start against the Red Sox, where he went only 5 innings to go with 6 hits and 4 earned runs and 2 home runs. So that is a little bit of concerning, but that Red Sox offense is a power lineup. We've seen that before from them. They hit a lot of home runs. Meanwhile, the Cubs, they're not as much of a power team. They do score runs. They are top 5 in Major League in terms of runs scored in the first 5 innings, but they don't have the amount of power that the Red Sox do. And then also this game is played at the Mariners ballpark, which is more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark. It is a deep outfield there. So for me, I think that we're going to be able to get a little bit of help because of that. And I do like the form that Bryce Miller was in coming off of that start in his last matchup against the Brewers on the road. So for me, give me the first 5 under 4.5 runs between these 2 teams as our second best bet of the day. Now, our fourth and final best bet of the day, we don't have a line out just yet, but I do like that this matchup here, and it is in the NBA, so I'm going to kind of give you guys, again, a breakdown as to what we're looking at here in the NBA standings, right? So if you guys look at the NBA standings, I'm going to update the screenshot here. Bucks right now, the number 2 seed. Knicks right now, the 3 seed, only a game back. Cavaliers are the 4 seed, only a game back behind the Knicks. And then you see here the Magic and the Pacers are the 5th and 6th seed, only a game back behind the Cavaliers. So everybody's separated by a game. But when you keep in mind here that maybe when you think about it, the number 2 seed might not be as coveted as teams may want to think it is. Why? Because that means you're probably going to have to face off against the 76ers or the Heat, which is a very tough number 2 seed to face off of. Granted that they both win against the Bulls and the Hawks, which I think they should be able to do. So because of that, I don't know if the Knicks necessarily want that number 2 seed, or if the Bucks maybe not be incentivized to say, we might want to lose this game and give the Knicks the 2 seed, so this way we can get the Magic or we can get the Pacers, which I think is going to be a better matchup for either one of these teams. So because of that, the Bucks are taking on the Oklahoma City City Thunder today, and I think they are going to rest a lot of their guys. Obviously, Giannis is hurt. Chris Middleton missed the last game due to injury management, but now Damian Lillard's on the injury report as well. He's been upgraded to questionable with a groin injury. We know Brook Lopez has been dealing with some injuries there as well, and Bobby Portis might be questionable, but I do think Bobby Portis is going to play this game. So because of that, his line is not out just yet, but we're going to take Bobby Portis up to 20.5, maybe 21.5 points if he does play. The odds are going to be to be announced. Now, if we look at historically some of Bobby Portis's lines, in his last game, his line was 19.5 against the Magic. He scored 30 points. His game before that against the Celtics, his line was 13.5. He scored 15 points. The game before that against the Knicks, the line was 13.5. He scored 24 points. The game before that against the Raptors, where Giannis did not play in that matchup, his line was 18.5. He scored 19. The game before that against the Grizzlies, his line was 16.5. He scored 19. You're seeing Bobby Portis's volume has gone up because of the injuries that these Bucks have been dealing with, and because I think Damian Lillard is going to rest today. I think it's going to be Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis be able to keep the Bucks in this game. The line has moved from an 8-point underdog for the Bucks all the way up to 15, 14.5 on certain books in favor for the Thunder. So because of that, I think that this is going to be a matchup here where the Bucks are going to lose this game, and they actually might want to lose the next game against the Magic. So this way, they now the 3 seed, because the Knicks are probably going to win today against the Nets in all honesty. So that will bump the Knicks up to the 2 seed, and that now is going to have them face either the 76ers or the Heat. And that to me is not as favorable a matchup in the playoffs, considering who they had and the experience on those teams compared to the Magic and the Pacers. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind. I'm not saying these teams are going to tank on purpose, but for me, I do think that the Bucks are not going to be as incentivized to play or keep all of their guys in the game. But Bobby Portis, who's the 6th man of the year leading candidate right now, I do think he's going to get buckets regardless. If his line is at 20.5, 21.5, I would play that. So for me, if it's a 20.5 number, it's going to be an official bet. If it's over 22 or more, it's not going to be official bet. Chris Middleton's line right now is 23.5, so I'll be surprised if they match Chris Middleton's line in all honesty. So his line's not out of right now. Historically, we're going to be looking at an 18, 19, or 20-point line here, and I think that he's going to go over that. Give me Bobby Portis to score tonight as our 4th and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 4 best bets that are coming for you on this Friday slate. Give me the Royals both on the first 5 run line on the plus side of it, and also give me them on the money line to get plus cheeky there. Then also give me the Cubs and Mariners first 5 under, and then also give me Bobby Portis depending on what the line comes out at. There are a few other games in the NBA that you may want to look at, like the Warriors are playing the Pelicans tonight. There's also going to be the Nuggets who are playing, the Timberwolves are playing. They're fighting for that #1 seed in the West. So there's a lot on the line for some of these teams today. But some of these spreads are a little bit too big for me right now. I need to see who's playing, who's not playing. So if you want some of those updated picks or who I'm going to be taking on the spread or player props a little bit later on in the day, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I've got you guys. And I also will drop a Nerfy as well on the Twitter as well. For more best bets and more picks in place, I'll see you guys on the other side. Drop a comment below with your favorite picks. And as always, dictate your fake gets out chat, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.